So today's session is about digital soundboards in the classroom. My name is Janie and I work for PVUSD. I wanted to do this topic because I really like music. I was a music minor and I taught third grade, and I always loved teaching with music. My kids love to sing and dance, and I saw this digital soundboard topic at the spring. And anyway, it really spoke to me because I think learning through music makes everything more fun, and kids love coming to school. They love their class, they love their teacher when there's music. So a digital soundboard, or a soundboard in general, is just a collection of sound clips or music, and you can use it in a lot of different ways. Today we'll focus on the digital one, but at the bottom of this slide, I linked a website called The Show Matters, and that's the Q session that I attended. And the person that presented that, they actually use a device that they bought, but they're like $250. I prefer cheap or free, so that's why I chose the digital version. So I linked a few examples of digital soundboards on my presentation. And so the first thing I'll do is I'll show you guys a little bit about, how you could use those already made ones. So let me just get out of this presentation. Okay, so this one I've shared with the liaisons before at our district, and it seems like people use them in a few different ways, but they're fun. Like this one has several pages. This one's let's see, there was one Mario theme. Yeah, all of these are Mario sounds, or like game show. And so for one liaison who taught middle school, he really liked using it just for review. Like every time they did a review lesson, he used some of the sounds, for like correct answer, or like, the winning sound, or just to make it really fun. And so even in those older grades, the kids appreciated the sound effects. For me, my students, I taught second grade last year. My students really liked the Super Mario sounds. So for example, if I click on this one, hear the Mario Superstar. And so I would play that one every time we had to line up. I was like, okay, hurry, we gotta line up. So it's really about finding out what kind of sounds you wanna use to teach routines, and or to set the scene. Here's another one that I found on TikTok. The very top noise, I kind of wondered if the person who made this, oops. I wondered if they use that sound to say like, okay, I'm about to do a routine with you. It could be like morning, pay attention. But they used a bunch of sounds that are either funny to the students, or that have to do with their interests, like songs that are popular on TikTok right now, for example. So I decided to make my own to see how hard it would be. And so if you're interested, I think it's really helpful to make your own. That way it's, things that you find useful, or that your students would like based on their interests. But for example, what I like to do in my class with second and third was that pair share can be kind of boring, right? So I like to do musical pair share. So every time I would play one of these clips across the top here, they're only like 8 seconds to 15 seconds, and they have to walk around the room until the music stops, or dance around the room, or whatever you tell them to do. So for example, I actually put in my presentation, my students actually dancing to this. All right, here we go. But anyway, so when the music stops, they're supposed to find a partner, and they thought that was really fun. They'd walk around, and then it would stop, and they'd have to practice the same thing, like in the winter, I wear a jacket and gloves or whatever. ELD vocabulary, whatever it is they're learning, review. So here's a list of some ideas for what you might use something like this for. Yeah, routines, transitions, attention getters, setting the scene, or just making things fun. And then more specifically, like I added a sound for the birthday song. Every time it's someone's birthday, I just click the button and everybody sings. In my board here, I added this Zelda fairy fountain noise for meditation. Like maybe after lunch, you have 1 minute where you don't talk, where you just draw or take a deep breath. Let's see if it'll play. So it's just calming music. Another one, I saw this idea at Q, was the positive message. I know a lot of teachers like to do either a pledge every day or some kind of positive message, like I'm ready to learn and I learn from my mistakes, or some kind of affirmation. And then you have some kind of exciting motivational music while you do it. So for that, I added the Rocky theme song. So just for that 20 seconds or a minute, you practice that. There's also, I've heard about the power pose. I don't know if you've heard of that, where you stand in a powerful position for a minute or however many seconds you want to make you feel like you're ready to take on the day. So just think about it. I'm curious, what do you think you might use it for now that you've kind of seen some of these? Feel free to unmute or type in the chat. How do you think you could use this in your class? Okay, I see pair, share, transitions. Yeah, really the idea is, have you ever felt like you say the same thing 100 times in the classroom? So this is supposed to replace you saying like, put your things away, close the Chromebook. So training that every time I play this sound, everybody has 5 seconds or 10 seconds to close their Chromebooks. And so with that, just like any routine, I would start with just pick one routine and practice it, and then do another one. And so if you decide to create your own soundboard, you might just add one sound at a time. You don't have to spend hours making one. You might just pick one sound for the one routine you're doing now. Great. Awesome. Okay, so let me get back here and see if I missed anything. Okay. I've provided some soundboard templates, and I was gonna take a look at these and how to make them your own, because that's one way that I think is easier than starting from scratch. But if you do want to start from scratch, there's a couple ways to do it. This one on the left, the person who made it edited the slide master. And I don't know why I always find that more complicated, but this one I made it, and I just added text and images and icons, and then I just published to the web. And that both ways of making one make it so that people can only click on the audio, which is what you want, so people don't drag around the text. But let me just open this, you can see. So if you want to make a copy of this, you can just open it up and go to File, make a copy. And then what you want to do is, if you don't like one of these sounds, if you want to replace it, I can only move around the audio. So if I want to change the text, I have to go to View and then Theme Builder. They've changed this in the last couple of years, how to edit the master slide. But now that I'm in here in the screen on this slide, I can now click on the text and change it. So maybe I found the sound I want for cleanup. I can change the text, and you could, name it whatever the routine is, or you could name it the name of the sound. It's up to you, whatever is more convenient for you. And so after you, I went to view, right, theme builder, and then I changed the text. So when you're done, you can just click the little X in that black bar area, and it takes you back out to the screen that we always use. And then to add music, to add an audio clip here, the way you have to do that in Google Slides to get this little icon to come up is you want to go to Insert Audio, and then the only place you can grab it from is from your Google Drive. So when you're thinking about what sounds you want, I like to go and create a folder in my Google Drive, and I go to share, and I make it, just in case I'm going to share this presentation with anyone, I set it to anyone with the link can view, because if you don't do that, then the audio clips won't be usable for other people. But if it's just you using it, it doesn't really matter if you do that step. And then I just download sounds and stick them in here. And so, for example, if I was going to change this sound, for example, I could delete the sound that's there and then go to Insert Audio. And then if I don't see the sound in my drive, I can just search for it, select it, and put it in there. So now let's see, where did it go? Oh, here it is, it's hiding. You can also, once you add the sound, I had this menu pop up on the side here. If you don't see it, you can always, let me close it, select the sound icon and go to Format Options. And that's how, if you want to change the color, maybe you don't like gray. I like this color because it's easier to see. You could change the color. You can make this bigger or smaller if you need to by dragging. Any questions so far? Okay.
Sorry. Do you typically like keep this open on a tab while you're working so that it's always there?
So that's a good question. With this, I usually just keep it open on a tab and I project it, but some people like to not show the students this. So, you know, if you wanted to buy your own like speakers, like some inexpensive speakers and like connect via Bluetooth or something, and then you could walk around the room and play sounds, I think that would be cool. But for me, I just find it easier to have a tab open and I click on it. Okay, I thought I saw another question. How do you download sounds? Perfect. Okay, so so one place I'm going to show you is called myinstance.com. And this site is not safe for students. It has a lot of inappropriate, sounds in there. And it was actually blocked by my district, but I had it unblocked for PVUSD. So teachers can access it if they just click override. So maybe at your district, you might need to request if it is blocked for them to unblock it for teachers. But this has a lot of sounds. And so at the top here, I can search for a sound. So you can see I was already searching for some. So if I go to the Tetris, you might want to have a sound or a song in mind. So once I search there, I can click on it to pick it out. I don't think I can stop the sound once I start it on this site. So, but anyway, if you click on the title of the sound, that's where you can just download it. Download MP3. And it looks like it downloaded it on my bar here. Yeah, so then I go to my folder that I've already created and set to anyone with the link in view, and then I just drag it in and drop it. And then I already had that one, so I'm not going to save it, but it's that easy. You just download, drag it in, as long as you've set up that folder in advance. And I like, the folder also because it's, in case I need to find it again, it's easy to find. There's some other sites that you can go to, and I linked them on the presentation. And there's also another way I'll show you where if you can't find the sound, you can record some audio. And I think that's okay. It's a little bit like stealing the audio, but if it's just for your class, I think it's okay. So let me show you that. So here's my resources for finding sounds. The Show Matters site that person linked all the sounds that they like to use. So there's some ready to go MP3s that he likes to use in the classroom. Sound Bible, let me check it out. I think this one was pretty easy. Yeah, at the top, you can go to sound effects and then search. And then if there's one you want, I forgot where the download button was. You might have to like click on the name and then you get the download option. Yeah. And then what I did for some where I just couldn't find a sound, like I wanted a 20-minute time, a 20-second timer and a 30-second timer. I just thought of a song that I like. And then I used this extension that I like. And let me see what it's called in my Chrome audio capture extension. So if I go to Chrome Web Store, and I linked it there too, but you could find it on there. I forgot what it was called. Record tab, what was it? Audio capture. One that has a big red button, this one. And then so now up here where my extensions are, I have that little red button. So let's do an example. If I go to YouTube, and I like that song, whoops. That's it. So for example, if I wanted to record this audio, I could get this ready. Maybe I wanted the commercial to go away first, get it ready to play. Okay, and so now I can click on my extension. Do you guys see that drop down? And so then I click start capture and then click the play button. So let me just record this in 2 seconds. And it's not recording my voice, it's just recording the tab audio.
Here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world.
So then when I'm done recording, I just click stop there and then save capture. And then when it's ready, file's ready, I click save, and that prompts me to save the file on my computer. You can just choose wherever you want to save it. And now I have it down here. You might, depending on what your device is, you might look in your downloads, and then I can add it to my sounds. So here it is, blue test. And now I can check it out to see if it's okay.
Yo, listen up.
But that's one way where you could just grab some very popular, maybe you want to get some sounds from Stranger Things or whatever your students like. It's one way to like steal just a little bit of sounds, and yeah, like I think it's okay. It's just for classroom use. Any questions about that? Okay. So then let me go back to I had a few other tips on this. Okay, yes, Vocaroo. That's one where you can go and record your voice if you want to. And I like the idea someone had of maybe people that your students know, and maybe there's like a catchphrase. I know I worked at H.E. Hyde Elementary, and the principal would always talk about like, at Hyde, we have Hyde Pride, Pride for Perseverance, or maybe has like a chant they do or something. You could record the principal doing that, and then every morning the kids could chant along, or maybe some words of encouragement or something like that. So let me show you that site. Vocaroo.com. So it's pretty straightforward. You just click the record button, press the button, and then allow the microphone. Now I'm recording my motivational message or whatever it is you want to do, or maybe you're saying line up or put your Chromebook away or something, and then you click stop when you're ready. And then you have this save and share. So you could check it out. Now I'm recording, see if it looks okay. If not, do it over. And now you could download it right here, same process. So pretty quick and easy. YouTube Studio also has an audio library. So if you're looking for some music, just some background music or something like that, that might be a good place to go. So if I go to YouTube and then go to the YouTube Studio down there, Come on. And then down here on the left, there's the audio library. So there's lots of free music and sounds, and you could filter here with this little symbol. You could filter by mood. That's one I like to do. So if I'm looking for maybe some happy music to put at the beginning of my slides or something like that, you could filter by happy. And then just check out the sounds. And if you like one of them, just download it on the right. Please let me know if you have any questions. I know that's pretty quick. Okay. So now the ones I put on the side here, I linked all of my sounds from my folder in case you want to use them. But then there's also some tools here for actually creating your slides if you want to do that. How to add icons, how to make it interesting. For example, I added a cute little icon for everything just to make it easier for me to find the sounds when I made them. So let's look at that. So I'm going to go back to the templates. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I do that, I did want to show one more thing about the instance. If you don't want to make your own soundboard through slides, probably the easiest way is to just go to myinstance.com. And then if you find a sound that you like, for example, let me search for another one. Just search for Super Mario because I really like Super Mario. So if you find any sound that you like, yeah, then you just click the heart and it adds it to your favorites as long as you're logged in. So this usually says log in, and you can log in with Google, and then you just go to your favorites. And so here is my soundboard ready to go. So if you don't really care about organizing them or having cute little icons, you could just go to myinstance.com, favorite things, and then have this page open. Yeah. But then again, the other bad thing that I was saying is that you can't really stop the sound once you do it, unless you click on a different one that's shorter or click on another page or something. Let's see, back to here. I included in the slides here, quick how-tos. There's this person on TikTok, I forgot her name, but these are really short, like less than a minute how-to videos on how to create the soundboard in my instance, in case you need to check that out later. And also how to create your own soundboard in slides, which I'm going to show next. Okay, so let me go back to my templates, and then I'm like, how are we doing on time? Okay, yes. So if you go to this one, this is the one I made. You could go again, file, make a copy if you just want to use mine and change it up. Okay. So let's say that you find a new sound that you want to add on this one. For example, maybe I want to get rid of this one. On my template, you could just change everything right on the slide. You could change the text. Clean up on the other example, and I could change the icon. And you could, search for emojis or do a Google image search, whatever you like. I wanted to show you guys this add-on. So in slides, you could click on the add-on button and search for add-ons here under get add-ons. And the one that I added was this icons for slides and docs. And so once you get that added, oops, sorry, I've been ignoring the chat. Then this appears here. So I go to add-ons, I click on the one that I want, and then it brings up this little menu where I can search for icons. And I love it because a lot of them are really colorful and interesting. So if I search for clean, or maybe any word you want, maybe I'll do this sponge. I can just click on it and then insert it. And it takes a second, there it is. So then now I can just resize it and put it where I want, and it makes it fun to look at, very cute. So the thing about these slides is that in order for, like, let's say you're going to share this with someone, or also to make it easier for you to interact with it, you don't want to leave it like this where you might accidentally drag things around. So once you're done editing it, what you want to do is go to File and then Publish to the Web and Publish. I don't really worry about any of this stuff. Are you sure you want to publish this? I'm going to put OK. And then the important part is copying this link. So I did File, Publish to the Web, Publish, and now I'm going to copy this link. And I like to paste it in another tab. I can see what it looks like. And now I have this where I cannot drag anything around. I can only click play. And with this one on the slides, you can stop it whenever you want, right? Maybe you say, okay, go find a partner. And maybe that was long enough. You can stop it. The other fun thing that I like is with any of these that I've shared with you, you could also click on the 3 dots on any sound and change the playback speed. So maybe they usually, you know, walk around. Maybe this time you're like, okay, this time I'm going to put it slower and you're going to go around turtle speed, walk like a turtle. And then, I mean, you know, maybe they can, to make it more interesting, have them help you come up with ideas. Now it's going to be faster. What movement should we do when we walk around, or whatever it is that you're doing? So I think that's super fun. Any questions? I feel like I probably missed some in the chat.
I came in a little bit late, so how will we access your slides?
They are in the presentation that in this, I'll just add it, but they're in the list that Stephanie shared in that document. So let me just grab that for you. Where did it go? Here it is. Share, copy. Okay, and then what time is it? Okay, yeah, I wanted to show one more tip. Let's see if I got everything on my list. Okay. Yes, I also like Emojipedia.com if you just want to add emojis as your icons, or there's also this emoji keyboard extension. So mine, it looks like this little heart. And so I can click there and then search for emojis that I want to add, or Emojipedia.org. Here you can also search and then just copy it. So there's lots of different ways. And then if you're creating your own board, kind of like this one, you don't have to use the same format that I did. If you do it like this, you have way more freedom. You could do a Google image search for PNGs, or just use the slides, the shapes in the slides, and, you know, be creative. So I like that there's flexibility in that. For my first slide here, like maybe you want to add arcade buttons like this. I did a search for that. I think I just went to Google and searched for arcade buttons and went to images, and you might add the word PNG in here. I mean, to try to get one that has a clear background. I couldn't find one, so I removed the background. So for example, let's say I want to use this one. I can save it. I'll say yellow button. Oh, it's not going to let me save that one. That's a bad example. It's not a PNG or a JPEG. So you want to make sure that you find one that's you can use. Great, that one says PNG. So I could do that. Red button. And then, for example, if I add it to my presentation, where'd it go? And it's not clear, this one is, but if it's not, then I could go to remove.bg and just add the image there, and it'll remove the background. So that's another tip in case you find some icons, some images that you want, but they're not clear. in the background. All right. I think that's everything I wanted to share today, and I wanted to give you guys time to just explore or ask questions. So feel free to unmute and play with all the soundboards.
I have a,
Oh, sorry. I
ahead,
had
Elsie.
two questions. I was wondering if you could show one more time how you do the audio from a YouTube video, and also how you did the add-on for the icons, because I couldn't find it in my.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the
Thank you.
YouTube one, you have to find the song on YouTube that you like. And so,
Country roads
sorry about
take me
that.
home.
So you get it ready to go, get rid of whatever commercials there are. I picked one that unfortunately I can't skip. Okay, there we go. So once you have your video ready, then you click on the extension once you've added it. And I think I put the link to it, so you could just go there and grab it. And then I click start capture, that'll start recording, and then I click play so that I don't miss anything from the song. Then I stop whenever I'm done, and I go back to the icon and then save capture, that'll stop it recording. And then here, if this bar is full, it says files ready. So once I click save capture, it'll save the MP3 for me. So it's giving me the option to rename it if I want. It's just a second, my cat is meowing at me. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Great. And then the other one about the add-on. So let's say I go to my slides and then go to add-ons. And if I don't have the add-on, I have to go to get add-ons first. And then it gives you the option to search. So I think it was called icons. Yeah, icons for slides and docs. And it's this one that says free pick. That's the one that I like. So you would click on it and then install. And to access it in your slides, you then go to add-ons again, and then hover over icons for slides and click start, and that'll open that sidebar.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I was curious about when you use Vocaroo. I'm a language teacher, and I was thinking that might be a way by which, for instance, pairs could record a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be appropriate for that?
Yeah, I think so. It's really easy to use. It shouldn't be blocked or anything. Yeah, as long as you teach them how to save their sounds on the Chromebook and how to grab it and put it in there.
Thank you.
If it's easier, a lot of times I don't, like if I'm recording sounds for another purpose, you can record in Vocaroo, and then once you're done, you don't have to, if there's no reason to download the sound, you could just copy the link to your recording and paste it, maybe hyperlink it somewhere. So if that is easier for you, that's an option too. Great, I'm so glad you guys found it useful, and thanks so much for coming to my session.